DMA Design was a UK-based game development company that traces its origins back to 1984, where David Jones, Russell Kay, Steve Hammond, and Mike Daly met at the Kingsway Amateur Computer Club, and just kind of had fun making silly games. They did, however, have contact with Psygnosis, who published many of their games for the Amiga, ZX Spectrum, and Commodore 64. In 1987, they decided to incorporate, and while sadly the name Acme was already taken, they decided to go with DMA Design. The DMA coming from an Amiga programming manual standing for Direct Memory Access. But it was chosen just because it sounded neat, and officially the DMA in the company name doesn't mean anything. Their first major breakthrough was in 1991 with Lemmings, which spawned an entire franchise. When Sony bought Psygnosis in 1993, DMA started working with Nintendo. One of the earlier Nintendo games they worked on was Body Harvest. Unfortunately, development was very bogged down by complaints by Nintendo, who eventually cancelled it. It was saved, though, by Midway Games and Gremlin Interactive. They did make a number of Nintendo games, but another interesting game they worked on was Kid Kirby, which was supposed to use the Super Nintendo mouse. It was cancelled, however, when the Super Nintendo mouse didn't sell well. Their next major success was in 1997 with Grand Theft Auto for the PC, which, as we all know, spanned another entire franchise. Following this success, DMA was bought by Gremlin. They continued their development until Gremlin was bought by Infogrames, and BMG Interactive, the Grand Theft Auto publisher, was bought by Take-Two Interactive, which folded DMA into Rockstar Games, where they lost most of their employees, including the founders, and continue to this day in the GTA mines. Back before they ended up in the GTA mines, DMA highly valued experimentation and unique ideas. Instead of following trends, when an idea was pitched, they'd ask, "What's different about it?" They were encouraged to just try stuff out and see what happens. This is a very risky mentality, which led to a lot of flops, but also a lot of very unique games, which today brings us to 1998. While they were still owned by Gremlin, and the release of Space Station Silicon Valley. Originally intended to be a PC game, the team found that Windows just wasn't capable of rendering the models and environments they wanted. The team got their hands on a Nintendo 64 dev kit and were impressed by how powerful it was. When the hardware rendered the models in soft focus, the team noticed how everything looked like plasticine models, like the ones used in Wallace and Gromit. They decided to adopt this as an aesthetic choice, and similarly, this inspired the game's distinctive British humor. Gameplay-wise, the game was originally going to involve you eating other robots to grow bigger, like in Cubivore. This changed to acquiring and incorporating body parts of other robots, but this idea was discarded when they realized it would be a nightmare to make and test. They settled on body hopping between robots, and while body hopping did exist in other games like Avenging Spirit, the inspiration here came from GTA and how you hop between vehicles. The game reviewed very well, but didn't sell well, likely because it released around the same time as Ocarina of Time, and there were some complaints that it didn't look great in comparison to games like Banjo-Kazooie. I'll attribute this to the N64 maybe not being able to realize their plasticine model look as well as they'd hoped. The game didn't sell well enough to warrant a sequel, but it did get 2 ports, both made by external companies. It was remade as a platformer for the Game Boy Color, which, though very different, was obviously made with a lot of care and love for the original. The PlayStation port, on the other hand, was exceptionally bad and has been described as one of the laziest ports in the history of video games. So yeah, play the N64 version. I only rented this game once as a kid, not getting terribly far, but it stuck with me and I never really forgot about it. You ever love a game as a kid, and then when you look back at it when you're older, you go, boy, this game was just bad? That was this game for me when I looked back on it a few years ago. Looking into it again for this series, and it didn't look bad, so maybe I was just in a crap mood when I looked at it before. Let's see how well my old thoughts hold up. Welcome to Space Station Silicon Valley. So in the far-off future of 2001, a space station was made using some of the richest people in the world's money that was to function as kind of a robotic zoo. So it was filled to the brim with animals from all over the world that were all machines. Unfortunately, not but 6 odd minutes after the space station was completed, it just vanished. A full 1,000 years later, and it has reappeared on a collision course with Earth. And that is where we come in. So starting a new game. There's a couple interesting things you can see here. Secure zones, species encountered. There are more than 40 different animals in this game. And then finally, the little purple orbs are going to be important for later. This game plays a bit like... The closest comparison I can think is Banjo-Kazooie. Because there are effectively individual little hubs that you go to that have a number of tasks that you can complete within each one. But unlike, say, Mario 64, you don't have to, exit and then re-enter each time, and the world won't necessarily change depending on which one you select. Instead, like Banjo-Kazooie, you can just go in and do everything all in one go. There are some secrets to be had, too. So, new game.
Hey, låter musik. Var är det då, Nilsson? Life, air, off.
And with that, the game begins. So a couple things to point out before we get started is just commenting on the cutscene itself. I was under the impression that Dan was like the completely incompetent one, but no, he's not. If anything, we are. Dan was doing his thing. He's flying the ship, listening to his music. We kept insisting on changing the music, and eventually friggin' slugged him and knocked him out. If anybody's incompetent here, it's us. And then after crashing... after crashing, the only thing that is left of us now is our main CPU chip, which thankfully has the ability to wander around and take over a brand new body if we find it. So we get to take over the body of the dog we just ran over. They're all robots, so like don't worry too much about that. But they seem sentient enough, so that's worrying. So starting out, we are given 2 missions, which is 1, get some energy, 2, get some sheep. Or get me a sheep. And let's see here. Sheesh when landing. I think there is every now and then, in accordance with British humor, every now and then I think there is a minor swear word in here. Probably from Dan. Most of your mission briefings come from Dan, which is largely him just being fed up and upset with you. So, get some energy, get a sheep. And now we're a dog. So you can run around. The dog can do a couple things. You can bark. And you can jump. So you have free camera control. Though the camera does seem to want to put itself behind... Okay, so R gets out. And now we can get our information on the dog. I think this is super cool that you get whenever you first jump into an enemy. Or jump into a monster. So type, dog, environment, Europe. Skill A, jump. Skill B, bite attack. Water resistance, excellent. Mass, medium. Armor, light. Strength, medium. Traction, average. Fall distance, medium. Production, medium. Engine, electric, intelligence, low. I think that's so cool. It only happens the first time you jump into an enemy type. The camera is excited. So these little blue orbs that you find are... It says energy, it's effectively health. This is the finish panel. When you stand on this, you actually finish the stage. These purple orbs are... I forget what they're called, like power cells or something. But there are 15 of them per level. And I think if you pause, you can see how many of them you've collected in this particular stage. We have 9 of them. Over the course of the game, you will want to collect as many of these as you can. You need, by the end of the game, you need to have collected... I shouldn't say need. You want to have collected at least 200 of them. They are a static resource, though, so you can just go collect every one of them. And there are a total of 390 over the course of the game. You get a special... I don't want to say a special ending, but how many of these you collect does affect kind of the climax, I guess you could say. You want a minimum of 200 by then, or you are not going to have a good time. So I think that's all of them. Yes, that is indeed all of them. So things that you're going to want to do in each stage. The stages are generally relatively short. You can see this, it's the whole area right here. This is it. Stages are generally relatively short. There are, of course, your missions, which is here we're given get some energy, which we did. That energy, I think I mentioned before, is health. And get me a sheep. Usually these are relatively simple. So get a sheep. So we have to kill a sheep. I don't know which one of these is our old love interest. There we go. And now we're in a sheep. Type, sheep. Environment, Europe. Skill A, floaty hop. Skill B, bah. Water resistance, okay. Mass, medium. Armor, light. Strength, weak. Traction, average. Fall distance, medium. Production, medium. Engine, bio. Intelligence, very low. And now we're a sheep. Since we have done that, the teleporter is active and we can actually finish the stage. Now, floaty hop. If you jump and you hold jump, you float. And the other button, bars. So there are a couple things you want to do in each stage, as I was saying before. There are your missions. Mission briefing, which we did. We've completed our missions. You want to collect all 15 of the purple... I wonder how long I can exist outside. Dang it. And then the last thing that you want to do is on every stage there is a golden trophy you can get. He is unfortunately stuck in there and not going to be able to help us. Oh, that's a good touch though. If you go back here and he says that, it actually starts playing the music as proper background music. If you go up there and bother him, he'll go back and he'll toast one of the sheep. I don't think it says anywhere that we acquired it, and I thought we had to toast 3 sheep in order to get that. So hold up one moment, I'm gonna go toast some more sheep. And 3. Interesting. Wonder why they gave it to you on the first one. So I like the speakers around here that are actually playing the music. And what are you? Oh, cool, you get to read up your own information. Neat! That'll do it for here, though. We've done everything that there is to do in this stage. Which means we can now move on to stage 2. Oh, so it actually does show the heart there, so it does show that we got it. And it also lists all the 15 purple power orbs, whatever they are. So have a nice day, stage 2. Get 4 sheep into the pen, find the mouse with wheels. Hey, sheep. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by getting them into the pen. The pen is up here. In you go. Okay, they're in there. Need another sheep. Sheep 3. So if you have trouble chasing them, the dog, they're pretty good, I think, at running away from the dog, but like also not being real dumb and not going into the pen. That is all 3 in the pen. So we have to find sheep number 4. If you are having trouble, you can just kill the sheep and drag their body into the pen. Can't get out of the water. Oh, cool. Sheep's doing my job for me. Let's go! Hey, no, cut that out. Bam! 4 sheep in pen. If we check our mission briefing, that should be... Get 4 sheep into the pen. I don't know why it's not registering as being done, but we did it. Anyway, we need a sheep, so... Away we go! So as a sheep, you can't attack, really. Oh, which actually means I don't know what's in that box. That's fine, for now. Look at them feet. I see the dog going around over there. It says this is a sheep spot, but what does that mean exactly? Oh, maybe you have to be a sheep in order to get these. Good job, we did it. Yeah, I wasn't sure I'd be able to get back. So I'm gonna hop back in the dog for a second because I want to break this crate. We also still have to find the mouse. Oh, energy. Don't see anything else here immediately. Missing a lot of purple orbs. We did just get a lot, though. Yep, that sure is a dog. I have seen complaints about the camera in this game. Oh, what? Got it, there we go. I feel like I want to get rid of that dog. I feel like that dog is going to be problems. I think that's the mouse. I don't know if I want to fight a dog with a mouse, though. Oh, I should be a sheep. I should definitely be a sheep. Oh. Neat! Yeah, as far as the camera goes, I will at least say that the camera is excited. What am I at? Oh, I'm only missing one, and I need sheep for that. So I can zoom the camera in and out. I'm gonna go beat up this dog real quick. Where you going, buddy? Come back! Just want to chomp you a little. Yeah, that's right. Fight me. Got him. Let's just get it now. I don't have to worry about it. It's a moose! Type, Racing Mouse. Environment, Europe. Skill A, Speed Boost. Skill B, Tail Attack. Water Resistance, Poor. Mass, Tiny. Armor, Light. Strength, Weak. Traction, Average. Fall Distance, Medium. Production, Very Short. Engine, 2.0. Intelligence, High. And now we're a wheel mouse! Says the wheel mouse, we have two moves. We cannot jump. We have a tail we can use to stab guys, if we need to. And we have a boost! Yeah! So, if you want to get the thing in this stage... Yeah, the end isn't opened up. It doesn't think I have all of the sheep. There we go. If you want to get the golden thing in here, you go find Racing Dog. So we meet again, Mouse Boy. This time I will win. Ready to race. 2 laps around the pond. Last to finish smells of cheese. Well, I'm a mouse. That's already true. Yep, right into the water. Perfect. Oh, you only have so much juice, and I used it, like, all up. And then being in the water hurts. Okay, let's try that again. So, first things first, let's get me and the camera into a better position. Big jump! Ah, crap, really? Well, I may be fine. Curses, Mouse Boy! Once again, you better me! And there's our reward. That's our golden statue for the stage. Stage complete. Okay, now the last thing we have to do is open up the exit, which, gotta figure out why it doesn't think we have 4 sheep in the pen. There we go. Sheep secured. There are 4 different worlds or so, you could say. One is the Europe world, Euro world. And there's also, like, ice, fire, what have you. But for now, let's go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Got us a mouse. I mean, what do? You can't get out. The stages aren't necessarily in a linear order either. Eventually we will be able to go to the other areas without having completed Europe Land. Anyway, next up is Honeymoon Lagoon, but for that one I will say, until next time, everyone.